It's all about the syllables, baby. It's all about the syllables, baby. It's all about the syllables, baby. Time to become a syllable division lady.
Hey, what's up, Queen? Welcome back. I'm Dr. Allison Parker, and I'm back with another video. In case you don't know me, I am the syllable division queen. And what I want to do in this video is to demystify why children are struggling readers. One reason why children are struggling is because they have a lack of knowledge. So in this video, I would like to share with you the top reasons why children are struggling readers. Why is the first grader struggling? Well, if you haven't already watched my previous video, which is titled, Why is My Child in Kindergarten a Struggling Reader? Go check that one out first because that's the foundation of all the videos. So if the kid has gaps lingering from kindergarten, we want to start there first. So let's get into it. The number one reason why children are struggling in first grade is because they just have a lack of knowledge with consonant blends. This is a big one. In first grade, children are expected to learn all these consonant blends. And now, what are consonant blends? You might be thinking. Consonant blends are letters that slide together. We hear each individual letter sound. Let's take a look. B, l, bull, k, l, cool, f, l, full, g, l, goal, p, l, pull, s, l, soul. Some kids can do that so easily and with such flexibility, while other kids stumble over this. Blending the sounds from left to right. Kids will see BL and utter something else. Same with the R's. Brr. Some kids can't do this with ease. They struggle with the R blends, the S blends, and then these are the tri-letter blends. So they don't understand the concept that we're going to slide one letter into the next and that we have to slide them quickly and easily in the mouth. So these are consonant blends that are at the beginning of words. And if children can't decode these consonant blends, they're going to be stuck on tricky words. Reason number two, they don't know what compound words are. They see these long words with several letters and they look at them, and some kids shiver in their boots. They just don't know, and it's sad to watch. These are words that we know are two words glued together that make one longer word. And so kids don't look at the whole word and try to split the word into syllables. That's what I want to do, Mom. I want to teach you so you can teach your reader. I want you to become a syllable division queen. We'll talk about that more at the end. Stick with me. And so when children see these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letter words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, look at all these letters, they panic, they guess, they freeze up, they don't know. Reason number three, well, another concept taught in first grade is contractions. Kids who have not been exposed to contractions, teachers maybe didn't get up to it in the curriculum, didn't think it was that big of a deal. And when children see that these are two words glued together, but one or more letters have been deleted or removed, and the apostrophe replaces them, kids don't know what "I'll" is. They don't know that this is the word "I'm" and "didn't" and "won't" and "don't." And then next, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. They don't know enough sight words. This is huge. They just don't know these frequently occurring words. These letters in these words have unexpected sounds. A kid might see this word and pronounce it as k, old, called, k, Kid might see this and say, kid, and forget about this one here. This is a very unfamiliar word for kids who are struggling. So kids must see sight words over and over and over again for them to be planted and cemented in long-term memory. So we play sight word bingo, and we play other games with them to help them learn. What's another reason why your baby in first grade might be struggling? Maybe the kid doesn't know the glued sounds. These are chunks of letters that stay together for reading, writing, and spelling. They don't separate, they don't divorce, they don't go away from each other. So every time you see ALL, it will always be all. It will always be all. So some kids don't recognize this concept that these letters are blended and they stay together. So all and am and an and ank and ink and onk and unk are tricky for kids. Ang and ing and ong and ung. So when the kid sees think, if the kid doesn't know the word think, the kid will look at the word and give it a good guess if they haven't been taught these glued sounds. Next up is double vowels. Look at these double vowels. These are digraphs. We talked about that in the first video. If you haven't watched the video on why kids in kindergarten are struggling, go make sure you watch that one because I unpacked the word digraphs. So basically, digraphs are two vowels that make one sound. In this case, these are double vowels. In the first video, we're presented with consonant digraphs in kindergarten. So double vowels or digraphs that together make one sound. But if you haven't been taught this, you have no idea how to make sense of words with these double vowels. So as you can see, there's a wealth of information that kids need to learn. People think, oh, kindergarten, oh, first grade, that's baby stuff. No, it's setting the foundation for all learning. And so some kids are not aware of this next concept, which is reason number 7. They have a lack of knowledge in silent E concept. So do you know that silent E has 6 different jobs? I know you probably didn't notice that. And so kids have not been taught the 6 jobs of silent E. And so when they see the word come, some kids say, Comey, sew me. And they have no idea about this silent E, why it's there, and what its special job is. So all of these are words, and I tried to put words to showcase all the jobs. If you're interested in learning more about what the jobs are, I have a great community of mothers that I'm building that I'd love for you to join us because we'll be unpacking all this content, all this knowledge so that you can be empowered to help your child read tricky words. If you haven't already subscribed and you're loving this content, take a moment now, like this video and subscribe. Share with your bestie as well. Reason number 8 as to why first graders are just not reading on grade level. Well, they struggle with reading 1-syllable words. So 2 and 3-syllable words, just like compound words, are a doozy for these children. They look at the word and they look at the shape and they give it one good, mighty guess. They don't stop to blend those letter sounds together. They haven't been taught how to break a word into 2 chunks so that they can decode the first syllable and the second syllable. And so these children are struggling with reading 2 and, God forbid, 3-letter words. But I'm telling you the truth, this is something that they have to know. So much is required in first grade. They have such a journey to go on. It's such a lengthy journey, so much content for them to learn. And with teachers struggling with time management and fitting it all in, Well, some kids just don't get everything that they're supposed to get. And so that's why it's so important for you, mom, to supplement, not even supplement. It is important for you, mom, to continue to be your child's first teacher. Another reason why children are struggling with their reading in first grade, some words have a prefix. A prefix. And if kids aren't exposed, then they just don't know. I like to introduce the prefix un to kindergarten kids. I like for them to see the prefix un in words like unhappy, unfair, unbelievable, unable. We want to give them exposure. Now, you might be thinking, what on earth are prefixes? A prefix is a letter or letters added to the beginning of a word that changes the word's meaning. So when we have the word happy, we can add un to make the word unhappy. The word read, when we add the re, now it's the word reread. And same for this word take. If we add the word miss, this is the word mistake. And same for appear. And if we add the prefix dis, this is the word disappear. So here's the issue and the problem that I have. Curriculums don't usually introduce the concept of a prefix until second or third grade. And in my opinion, it's just too late for kids. They need more sooner. Along that same vein is the concept of suffixes. Prefixes come at the beginning of words, suffixes come at the end of words. It's a letter or letters added to the end of a word, and they change the word's meaning. If we have jump and add the S, now it's jumps. Fix, we add ES, fixes. Clap, add suffix ed, which by the way has three different sounds. Did you know that ed had three different sounds? Yeah. D, t, and what's the last sound? What's the last sound of ed? Type it in the comments to let me know if you know the three sounds of ed. I gave you two. Ed says d, and there's another one as well. If we have the word hop, then we add ing. Now it's hopping. Ice, drop the E, add the Y, IC. Same for these. So suffixes have to be taught. We cannot wait until the big fat curriculum manual tells us that we need to teach something. Mom, we need to teach it as soon as possible. And my literacy recommendation is that you teach it to your first grader. Please, if you haven't already, I want to grow this channel. I want more people to find out about me and all I have to offer in terms of literacy tutoring for moms. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Reason number 11 is this child has a learning disability. So, a learning disability may be dyslexia. It's a language-based learning disability. It's a learning difference. It means that the brain needs other strategies to learn how to read the words on paper. Comment the word assess if you would love for me to send you an assessment for you to assess your own child, or if you would like me to assess your child remotely using Zoom. Children who have a language-based learning disability could also be struggling because there's this coexisting comorbidity we call ADD or ADHD. What does that mean? These are children that have poor working memory. You teach them something today, they might not have been as focused. Their attention might have decreased. Maybe they're tired and they have trouble remembering. And so, if you can't remember what you learned yesterday, and the next day at school, we're going to teach you something different, then you are definitely going to struggle learning to read. And finally, I like to always look at the big picture, the whole picture, to look at literacy from a more holistic view. And one factor we cannot ignore is the factor of the home environment or the environment from early childhood. Some kids have little to no exposure with literacy at home, at daycare, or in preschool. And so they just didn't get enough of what they needed. And now there's a delay in terms of content needed at that particular grade level. Reading to children at home for many kids who are struggling is just not a priority. Parents are focused on putting food on the table and paying the bills, and they don't necessarily associate themselves as children's first teachers. And so reading is not a priority. And because it's not a priority, kids know far less words and they have a smaller vocabulary and they will struggle. So another factor is kids who struggle may be struggling because singing songs, playing letter games like letter bingo and letters and sounds bingo or sight word bingo, or different word games. It's just not a priority in the home. Some moms believe that all learning takes place, academic learning takes place at school, and they don't perceive themselves. You don't perceive yourself part of the literacy team. You don't see yourself as a teacher. And because you don't see yourself as your child's first teacher, you don't make singing and language a priority at home. And in that same vein, these are families where there are little to no books in the home. Children don't borrow books from the library. When's the last time you've taken your child to the public library to borrow books and to read them at home? So, literacy is just not a priority at home. And because of these reasons, children struggle. And so, I'd like to share with you that there are two approaches for this problem. Either you could use the wait and see method. And I know of some parents who are going to watch this video and say to themselves, it's a new school year. I'll wait and see what this school year's teacher is like. Maybe the kindergarten teacher was having a baby and there was a substitute that your child had. And maybe you're thinking, oh, next year will be better. This year will be better because we'll have a different teacher. I'm here to tell you that no teacher, no one can do what you can do if you do it consistently and you make it a routine. You make the love of reading, and you reading to your children, you singing with your children, you playing word and letter games with your children. There is no substitute for mom. Mom truly is the missing link, and first grade is not easy. There is so much to learn. So I don't recommend the wait and see method. What I do recommend is that you take action, massive action, and you begin making reading a habit, a routine in your home. Read to your child and make it a habit. Start today. Listen to your child read and take notice of the information about the words that they were not able to read. I can share an assessment with you. I'm going to put it in the description box below for you to assess your child, because you need to know if your child doesn't know the digraphs, doesn't know the consonant blends, is struggling with the vowels. Don't you need to know that, mom? Don't you need to know that, sis? Don't you need to know that, queen? You need to know so you can implement a plan. So I have several solutions for you. One of them is joining my community of mothers. It's called the Syllable Division Queen Community, where together I would love for us to focus on helping our children become powerfully literate. I'll be leading with you in that community where together we share tips and tricks and strategies and learn from each other. I'll be modeling for you and providing some tactics for you to implement to help your children when they are stuck on these tricky words. So click the link below. I have a wealth of resources there for you, including phonics workbooks, as well as a course if you're interested. And that brings us to the end of our video. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which one of these reasons is negatively impacting your child? And more importantly, what are you going to do about it to close the reading achievement gap? Bye for now. I'll see you in the next video.
Powerfully literate and join forces now. Partner with me and I'll teach you how. It's all about the syllables, baby. It's all about the syllables, baby. It's all about the syllables, baby. Time to become a syllable division lady.